My man Mitch in the house. Let's go. Oh, we got some stuff to talk about tonight, don't we? What is going on, everybody? I am Rob Westerman, the third of GBP Daily, and thank you for tuning in to the Rob Westerman Show. You can find me all over social media at GBP Daily, and if you are not already, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. I would greatly, greatly appreciate that. It is Friday, December 27th, and we are just a couple days away from Packers-Vikings in Minnesota. Vikings have just about as clean of a slate as possible this season, sitting at 12 and 13-2. Holy cow. Yeah. They won in multiple different ways, offensively, defensively. They've been getting it done week in and week out. We're going to have our hands full with them and the crowd as well at US Bank on Sunday. With that, we will be shorthanded, of course. Jair Alexander out. Quay Walker out. Evan Williams out. And Andre Dillard out. We'll get into those in more detail, I'm sure, once we hit the comments section, which is already just firing up. Thanks, everybody, joining me on a late edition of the Rob Westerman Show, Friday night style. But yeah, just as brutal of an injury report as you possibly could have. Not possibly, but a pretty rough one heading into a tough matchup on Sunday against the Vikes. Let's move on to those listed as questionable. Christian Watson, Javon Bullard, and Tyron Hopper are all listed as questionable. Christian Watson, we know, went down with a knee injury on Monday night against the Saints, and turns out it was a knee bruise. So hopefully he'll be able to give it a go on Sunday. And Javon Bullard, who went down with an ankle injury against the Lions a few weeks back, is listed as questionable as well. I would be surprised. Personally, if we saw Javon go, seemed like a pretty serious injury, but we'll find out officially 90 minutes before kickoff when the final injury report comes out before the game. Without further ado, let's hop into the comment section here. And as always, the Nicolet Law hotline is now live. If you want to be a part of the show, you want to hop on with me, yours truly, give me a call on the Nicolet Law hotline. The number is on the screen, 319-242-2332. I'm taking your calls now. Would have loved to chat with you. My man, Phil, in the house. No red flags from LaFleur out. Yep, I know, Phil. Armin, late night vibes indeed. Friday night, whether you're watching from home, whether you're watching from the bar, whether you're watching in bed. Thank you for tuning in and hopping on with me. Yeah, a little late night vibes going on. Zane, worried about this game. You shouldn't be. Zane, we're going to take care of business. I'm telling you. A young squad, an injured squad in ourselves rolling into U.S. Bank against arguably the best team in the league in the Vikings. And yeah, it's time to put up or shut up here. We have not, I'll say it, we have not beaten a legit or elite or very good team all year long. I know the Seahawks were at the time the division leaders. Well, they just put up 6 points against the Bears. They don't look good. The Texans just got destroyed against the Ravens the other night. They put up 2 points. And at the time when we played them, I think they were 5-1, 4-1, 5-1. So, yeah, we lost to the Lions twice. We lost to the Vikes already once. We lost to the Eagles, of course, week 1. All legit teams. And I think pretty much the only legit teams we played this year. So, Armin, score prediction. Love these questions. I've been thinking about it. And I think it's going to be a one-score game either way. I'm thinking kind of like a 31-29 victory, of course, for the Packers. That was kind of off the beaten path there, but I'm going to stick with it. 31-29 Packers. My man Rakeem in the house. Good to see you, Rakeem. Thanks for hopping in. Jair being out again this weekend sucks, but one thing came to mind. Using the run game heavy this game, I think we got it. Absolutely agree. Got to get Josh Jacobs going early and often. He has been the best player on our team this entire year, and an awesome signing by Goody, and just an absolute game changer, game wrecker. He runs so freaking hard, and I am so glad that he is on our team. Absolutely. What else we got going on here? Yosef, the hottest topic of the week. Jair Alexander, what is going on? Excuse me. Yosef, I know it's been the popular thing to have some sort of, freak out, breakout, or breakdown of how I feel about the whole Jair Alexander situation. And sure, it would make for much more interesting content if there was actual substance behind some mystery drama that could be happening behind closed doors with Jair and the Packers. But I legitimately think that they kept him off IR in hopes that his PCL would be healing at a faster rate. I think each week they as in the Packers and Jair have, legit hope that he'll be able to give it a go for that game, but the progress just isn't there. So it's probably close, given the fact that he has been outside of this week practicing in full each day, but I think it's just not healing as quickly or steadily as they each have hoped. So thus leading to this weekly ordeal of will or will he not play. I'm holding out hope that somehow he'll be able to go come playoff time, but I'm not holding my breath on it anymore. I thought all along that he'd be able to go this weekend, given the matchup we have going against JJ and Addison, but that is obviously not the case. So we'll just kind of have to wait and see. Don't hold your breath any longer. I was hoping he'd be back for the Vikings game. I figured with the full week of practice he had leading up to the Saints game that he had a chance. And yeah, he was questionable for that game. I thought he was just going to maybe sit because I didn't think we needed him. And maybe they as in the Packers thought, we'll give him the Saints game off, considering we had a short week leading up to the Minnesota game, and then maybe kind of hit the ground running against the Vikes and maybe play, a handful of snaps against the Bears. And then, be ready to go come playoff time. But that is not the case. The Jair saga is off and running. And I'm not really sure what to think about it. Coach is pretty sealed lips about the whole entire thing. So, tough to say either way, right? Thank you, Yosef, for hopping in. Appreciate you, my man. Zach, Jaws waiting for the playoffs. I hope so. Do you think Jair injury is more serious than we were told? Well, I think they told us what they thought. They thought it was going to be kind of, a few weeks, and then leading up to that Saints game, maybe get a little better, and then it wasn't. And then this week, clearly there was some sort of setback or issue. He was a full participant, and then he was a limited participant, and then a non-participant in practice. And now today he has been declared out. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see, right? Trent, Vikings fans are pretty loud this week. Time to humble them on Sunday. Trent, I'm seeing the same thing. I will say Vikings fans have come on pretty strong over the last decade as far as smack talk goes. And, yeah, they're coming for blood this weekend. They've been as hot as any team all year long. They hate us more than anybody. I don't hate them because they're irrelevant. They don't have anything to show for their existence, really, in football. So, yeah, I feel no way about them one way or the other. It's kind of like that scene from The Equalizer, the second one, where the first one, where the Russian guy was like, "You're like a piece of lint or a bottle cap." I don't feel one way or the other about you. And yeah, I just don't. The Vikes are the Vikes. They can have the greatest year ever in the regular season, but we all know come postseason time, they're not going to get it done. And I'm 100% confident in saying the same thing for their squad this year. So, but yeah, they hate us more than anybody. Jair not playing has given them yet another talking point and saying, he's ducking the matchup against Justin Jefferson. And hey, Jair has barely played against division opponents, so I'm not really at liberty to really disagree that he unfortunately hasn't been able to go. The best availability or the best ability in the NFL is availability, and Jair simply does not have that. So, but to your second part, it is indeed time to humble them. Our young team, our beat-up team, going into the deep water over there at US Bank with their wild crowd, would be pretty sweet to shut them down and humble them a little bit, right? Thank you, Trent. Let's get the fact of the day rolling, shall we? It is a good one from somebody we all know and love.
It's time for your Green Bay Packers Fact of the Day. Brought to you by TickPick. TickPick guarantees to have the lowest prices on Packers tickets. If you find cheaper tickets elsewhere, TickPick will give you 110% of your money back. If you want $20 off your next ticket order, use code Packers20 at checkout. That's Packers20. This promo code can only be used in the app, so make sure to download the TickPick app today.
All right, your fact of the day, Tucker Kraft. My man, Tucker Kraft, been balling out this year. Tucker Kraft has the highest passer rating when targeted among all NFL players this season with a 146.2 passer rating when targeted. Needless to say, he's become one of the league's best tight ends, and he's an absolute joy to watch. If I don't say so myself, becoming one of my favorite players on the team. So shout out to Tucker Kraft, and shout out to TickPick for partnering up with myself. I used them for the Packers-Cardinals game back in October that we were up at. I used them for the Packers-Dolphins game Thanksgiving night, and I will be using them for the Packers-Bears game most likely next Sunday. So they put their money where their mouth is. They guarantee the cheapest Packers tickets on the market. And if you find cheaper tickets elsewhere, they will give you not 90, not 100. They will give you 110% of your money back. Download the TickPick app. Use the code Packers20 for $20 off the already cheapest tickets on the market. What else do we got going on this weekend? This evening, excuse me. Jonah, my man in the house. Do you think Jordan Love will have at least 2 touchdowns? Jonah, I'm getting an inkling here that this may be a betting question. I personally am not a sports bettor. I I have too much of a biased or optimistic outlook on the Packers games, and those are the games that I probably would bet on anyways. So it's probably a good thing that I don't bet on sports because it would not be good for the finances, that's for sure. But yes, I do. I think that'll be a high scoring game. It's indoors. And although the Vikings defense is good, the Vikings offense is good as well. And I think they're going to put up some points against us. Therefore, leading us to probably have to throw the ball a little bit more as the game goes on than we would like to. So, which I didn't mean that in a bad way. Just meant we'll probably throw it a lot more than what we have been in the last several weeks. So, yep, if it's 2.5, then yes, I am taking the over. Absolutely. But like I just told you, it's not for betting, just wondering. All right. But like I just told you, I'm a pretty optimistic, biased homer type of predicting guy. All the predictions I made this year, of course, have the Packers winning. And hey, I'm 11-4. That's pretty dang good. So, but yeah, give me the over on the 2.5 touchdowns for Jay Love. What else we got? Thank you, Jonah, for hopping in, my man. Appreciate you. Hope you have yourself a good Friday, good weekend. Haley, thoughts on Josh Jacobs' usage over the next 2 weeks? Haley, I think this weekend we're playing to win. I don't think any of those rest or limited snap conversations happen until maybe next weekend against the Bears. And that obviously depends on if we have a seed locked up or not. So with that said, I hope we ride Jacobs this weekend to a win because he's going to be a big reason on why we'll win this game when we do. Now, come next week, depending on the seeding scenario, I think if there's any guys that are banged up in any way, I'm sure the Packers will probably deem them out. I also think with Josh Jacobs, they'll probably get him out there for a drive or two and then shut him down and get him as fresh as possible for the wild card round the following weekend. So that's kind of where my head's at. We're playing to win this weekend, baby. Playing to win. We're playing to win every weekend, of course, but if there was a time to sort of maybe rest guys who are a little banged up, next weekend might be the time, depending on if we have a seed locked up or not. So, Jonah, should be a close game. Thanks, you two. Do you play fantasy football? And Jonah, I do. Thank you for asking. I'm actually in the championship this weekend, actually. So, yeah, yours truly been balling out this year. No big deal. I'm in 2 leagues. One league I finished in last place, and my other league I'm in the championship. 50-50 shot to win that, so we'll see how that plays out. But, yeah, that's fantasy football for you, right? I have a love-hate relationship with fantasy football. Both my squads were doing pretty bad about halfway through the fantasy season, and I told my wife I was done. I'm done playing fantasy. It's stupid and it's not fun or whatever. And then of course now that I'm winning, my man Jay Beckman's in the house. Now that I'm winning, I love it. So similar to a buddy of mine, Vikings fan, of course. Now that they're winning, he's a big Vikings fan. He's wearing all the stuff. He's posting every weekend that he's watching the game with the missus. And just a couple years ago when they were trash, I would ask him about them, and he'd claim, "Oh, I'm busy. I ain't watching that stuff." And now this year, funny enough, he's posting every weekend. Big Vikings fan, watching all the games, wearing all the stuff every Sunday with his family. Fair weather fans, right? What are you going to do? Jeremy, my man in the house. Green Bay needs to get the ball for the second half of this game. I think I do like getting the ball to start. I will say that. Getting off to a fast start has a pretty good trickle down effect as far as not having to play run defense for as long during the course of the game and getting up, clearly giving our defensive line kind of the go-ahead to get after the quarterback, which has been turning out and working out pretty well these last few weeks. But so I will disagree with you there, Jeremy. I hope we get the ball first, and that U.S. Bank, that U.S. Bank crowd is going to be rocking. It is going to be an absolute battle with the crowd itself this weekend. So I hope we get the ball first. I hope we can go down and score to try and kind of tame the crowd a little bit. Aaron Rodgers used to talk about it all the time, kind of surviving that first wave. And I was listening to Andy Herman talk about this earlier as well, for surviving that first wave of crowd intensity. And I think a good start would be to get the ball, go down and score. Obviously, that goes without saying, of course. But that's where I'm at. Keep taking the ball. And the Saints, they, for some reason, deferred on Monday night, giving us the ball. I was kind of shocked. And what did we do? We had a picture-perfect drive that ended with a touchdown, and it was off and running from there. So I hope we get the ball. Let's go down and score, and let's take care of business. So thank you, Jeremy, for hopping in. Have yourself a great Friday. One last thing here. Got a prediction, as I talked about earlier before I shut it down. I'm going to go Packers 31, Vikings 29. It's kind of where my head's at. So, all right, guys, that's going to do it for me tonight, as far as the show goes. But as you know, the content never stops. I'm always posting anything Packers related all day long. So be sure to follow me at GBP Daily on every social platform. And if you could please subscribe to the YouTube channel at GBP Daily as well, it would mean a ton. I will be back at it again tomorrow, so I look forward to seeing you guys then. And until then, I'll catch you guys later. Thank you.